see y'all chirping already. I see y'all over there taking football shots and whatnot. Damn these. It happens every night. 26,000 already watching. 26,000. That could ever be a friend of mine. Nope. Summer heat never treats me kind. It leaves trouble on my mind. Trey, you gonna sing?
Yeah.
Here he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Honey Bun. Trying out for the voice. Let's go. Is there a delay?
Well, I just got an email from that.
Yeah. Oh, Honey Bun is here, ladies and gentlemen. And I got 3 good tires and a spare. Right to the hook right here. You can at least sing that part, Trey.
Oh, I got all budget.
Low budget live, actually on time. Me and Trey both showed up actually early. We've been talking. We've been offline chatting. You're getting called hostess cake. What's up, everybody? In the comments, there was an early comment I've got to address. Somebody said, I can't believe Luke is having this tonight with the Titans playing. And then the comment, and let me see who said that so I can give credit where credit is due. Brett Taylor, he said, being a Titans fan and all, but then again, they're 0-3. That is why I'm not watching. That's why we're hanging out with Trey Swindle tonight in the Low Lifers. I've been a Titans fan since they moved to Tennessee. And it's not easy, guys. It's not easy. We got that Will Levis at quarterback. I wasn't a fan of his in college. Hard to be a fan of him now. And they have no offensive line, and they trade away all of our best players. And Trey Swindle just left. It's just black. I don't know what happened, but we do have Trey Swindle with us tonight. Go Vols as well. I think Trey covered his phone in honey buns. I don't know where Trey went. Hang on, guys. Hang on, 80,000. I don't know where Trey's at. Not sure. This is the podcast for Monday, September 30th here, and lots of craziness going on in the world. Got to say, Trey's gone. Little Trey. He got no service. His phone probably died. Ain't no telling. Let's see. Hang on a second, folks. He's texting. No, he actually is not. That is somebody else texting. Gotta say thoughts and prayers, man. And I know that is, I know that gets said a lot. And, man, what can you say about what's going on in North Carolina and in my dear state of Tennessee? It's horrible. We were supposed to have the NPFL last week. And then, Hurricane Helene rolled in. They canceled it. And who could have ever thought in that moment that it would have taken the turn that it did, man? We got people, over 1,000 people missing there in North Carolina, East Tennessee, entire towns gone. It's crazy. So can't say enough. It's hard to – I was thinking this yesterday watching football and again on Saturday. It's weird. And Trey, I don't know how you feel about that. Like you were at the Alabama game, like life goes on, but then it's so crazy to think about that sometimes that life goes on when so many people are hurt. It's crazy. And if you can help in any way, I know David Mullins is a good guy to follow. David has been, he's in that, very far inch of Eastern Tennessee up there. And I know he's been hauling water, baby formula, so many different things. And they're actually having to helicopter it in. Go follow David Mullins, Officials the Elite Series. He's posting a lot of stuff, the ways you can help and help some of those people affected up there. But God bless everybody is all I can say, because it's a crazy, crazy time. But NPFL ultimately, that decision wasn't easy, but it was the right call for dang sure to get everybody the heck out of Dodge and get them home. That east side of Florida is supposed to be at the St. Johns River, wasn't impacted as bad as that west coast, but they had hurricane force winds over there the day of. And Trey, I don't think I've told you this, but I mean, the FWC said, guess what? You're not having a bass tournament. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into these tournaments, and you're a tournament angler, obviously, Trey, and we always go, well, man, we want to fish and we want to do this, we want to do that. And a lot of times you don't know the behind the scenes. And I'm fortunate with ABT and MPFL. Like I get to see some of the things I never did when I was just fishing. And talking to Brad Fuller with MPFL, he's like, yeah, the FWC and the city here, they've called a meeting with us this morning. And I think they're going to tell us that we have to leave. And within 15 minutes, I got a text. He's like, yeah, we got to leave town. But they were actually talking about the St. Johns River's high actually shutting it down. Even if they got some rain, a little bit more rain, they'd have to shut down the St. Johns River because it was already 2 feet high, because it would take out people's houses. Like crazy.
Well,
so
I just got an update. I'm pretty sure from the Opens. Zach called me because I think they just relocated the Hartwell Open.
Huh?
Yeah, I couldn't. Zach called me. I was trying
to
get off at Hartwell. We're supposed to leave Friday.
And
apparently there's no power around there, and like the closest place to get gas at Hartwell is 50 minutes away because everybody's getting gas for the generators and stuff. And
holy crap!
Just got some kind of text just then. That's everybody's blowing my phone up because something happened. I don't even know what it is.
Is that what literally blew your phone up a while ago and caused you to leave Low Budget Live?
Yeah, literally interrupted the podcast.
Was it Honey Bun Jr. calling? Was it Zach?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Honey Bun Squared.
Yep.
Dadgum. Well, go through your phone. We need some information. This is breaking news right here on LBL. Let's go. Even if it cuts you off, you can get back on.
Can I go here? Okay.
Yeah, just swipe out.
Be back. Hold on.
Hartwell is wrecked. Paul Abbott coming in the comments. Hartwell is wrecked. I did not know that. I need to check on some folks over there. I did not realize that was the case. Rick Hicks, how is everything around my house? My house is good, man. We dodged a major bullet with it. You know, I'm southern Middle Tennessee, so south of Nashville. And if you follow me on social media very much over the years, we get a lot of storm damage at times here. I got a lot of pine trees here at the Duncan residence, and we actually didn't have any damage. My dad had a big tree fall almost on his shop where he keeps his boat, missed 2 brand new shooting houses, and he needs to go buy a lottery ticket. But everything's good up here. We got rain, we got wind, but we didn't get no flooding, anything like that, man. But Western North Carolina, East Tennessee, it's just, again, their town's gone, interstate's gone. Like it's insane, man. And of course, the Florida coast, just horrible. But all right, Trey, Trey Swindle back, the LOB himself, with literally as breaking news as it can happen from a Bassmaster Open perspective. They're supposed to go to Hartwell next week. I didn't realize that was even that close, but here we are. All right, where are we going? What's happening?
Yep, we just got an email, and the Open has been relocated to, any guesses?
Gunnersville.
I'll give you okay, I was about to say in Alabama, but not the place Trey would want it to be.
Please don't say Smith.
Lake Martin. It's even worse, dog. We're going to go catch a bunch of 10-inch spots. Lake Martin.
5 that go. 4 pounds. 4 pounds. Seriously, dude. Oh, dang, Lake Martin. You going to get a bite. You going to get a bite.
You'll get bit. I think it's, I didn't go into too much detail. I just seen the lake, but I think it's like they pushed it back to like, I don't know, maybe like October 8th or something.
Oh, so they moved it by a week.
Yeah, I think so. That's what Zach just texted me. He's like, crap, because now that makes his drive even farther from New York. And my also update on this, I booked a VRBO, and apparently Trey might lose $1,700 because it's non-refundable. So I'll have
Why did you book a non-refundable VRBO, little buddy? That's the first question I have. You're gone again. He's gone again. His phone, I think his phone is ringing. And when that happens, is it when it
quit calling?
Go to put your phone on do not disturb. Tell them you're being there's 131,000 people watching. Said not many houses on Hartwell with power. Yeah, dude, you need to check in on that because I bet you can get out of that because of the weather. I'm sure you just need to call them.
Which it'll be, I mean, it'll be cool coming to Lake Martin. You know, it's closer. Some of my family will probably be able to come, but I was really looking forward to Hartwell, man. I like that place.
Yeah, Hartwell's fun, man. But Martin will be fun. I mean, it won't take a ton of weight to win. Probably not as much as it would have at Hartwell, but it'll be fun.
Yeah, it should be fun. Like I said, I mean, it's closer to home, so, you know, it is what it is. I'm in 27th. I ain't got a shot anyway, so it don't matter. I'm just going for the win. Winter,
Well,
winter I'm out.
Winter you're out, winter you're in. Trey, I hope you have your information correct because there is a one Miss K Donaldson, Miss K from the Alabama Bass Trails in the comments. She said Martin or Logan Martin. It's Martin, Alexander City, right?
It says Lake Martin Wind Creek Boat Route.
Wind Creek, okay. Miss
That's
K,
what
they're going to Lake Martin. Lake Martin. What is your Lake Martin experience like, Trey? Are you
So I fished the ABT South before with Miss K.
yeah.
And I
Until
think
you
I
got
played.
banned for cheating.
Yeah,
Oh wait.
exactly.
That didn't happen.
So
that didn't happen.
I think me and Trap Dog weighed in like 5 spots for 3 pounds. I think something like that. But now
Yeah.
I will say, in my high school days, back in my prime, I won a high school tournament at Lake Hartwell. I mean, at Lake Martin.
How much weight did you have?
I think I had 3 for 10 pounds.
That's pretty good at Martin.
Yeah, that was back in my cranking days. We don't do that anymore, dude. We just
They don't buy the crankbait anymore, dude.
No.
Stop kidding yourself. You fish the Bassmaster Opens.
Literally the home of the Scope Fest.
the Scope Master Opens is what you fish. And I'm not even trying to block it, everybody. That's what you fish, though. If you ain't scoping, you hoping for some points.
I was out there at Okeechobee just slinging my chatterbait around like I thought I knew what I was doing. And Scott Martin rolls up with his buff on like this, like 2 feet from me, scoping in like an inch of water, and proceeds to catch 33 pounds, like literally 30 feet from my boat, so fast.
Everybody's like, dude, there's going to be a bass. Listen, man, they can schedule these tournaments where scoping won't come into play. Scott Martin.
Literally. And I'm like,
first derby.
What is going on, dude? Like, what just happened?
That's right, because you and several more, y'all were all in that area watching that gun show, huh?
Yeah,
because you caught them.
Yeah, I caught it the first day, the first morning of the tournament. The wind was blowing a little bit, so they kind of bit my chatterbait. And dude, you know as well as anybody, like I didn't really start scoping until about midway through this year. I decided to learn it because I was getting my teeth kicked in by it. So then I didn't scope at all. And I seen him scoping and stuff, but like I was like, I'm not scoping out here on Okeechobee in a foot of water. Like I refuse to do that. So I was winding my chatterbait around, and the first day, like I caught like one almost 7. Like I had like 17 something on a chatterbait, but the wind was blowing a little bit, so that kind of helped them. Second morning, it got dead calm. I got out there around those guys, and they were all just trolling circles around everybody. And I'm like, you know what? Trey's going
30 pounds, 30 pounds, 30 pounds, 30 pounds.
Yeah. And I'm just sitting there slinging my chatterbait. I can even make a full cast because everybody's scoping around. I'm like, what is going on?
There's 8-pounders jumping in front of your trolling motor.
Yeah, on like 2-pound line, Mr. Crappie, yellow high-vis, yellow Walmart line. And I'm like, what is going on?
The Scoping Opens, baby. The Scoping Opens. Real quick, I got to thank some sponsors real fast. The folks at Gill, we just jumped right into the show. We've been rocking and rolling almost 15 minutes now, Trey. The folks at Gill, this is the last day of the LBL promo for September. You can spend any amount of money and you get a free gift. The code is LBL promo. Pro Guide batteries, that code is LBL10 on some of the best batteries in the game. They got chargers, they got AGM batteries, lithium batteries, you name it. ProGuidebatteries.com, LBL10, bait-works.com. The LOB jig. Trey, tell them, Trey.
That thing's legit, man. I have went through, I don't know, Luke, y'all probably made about $5,000 just off sales for me personally.
I haven't because you always ask me for free ones.
Well,
you and Sam George
got to do. I mean, I can't help it. I go through so many of them. How many times, tell the viewers how many times I've called you throughout the year saying, hey, man,
a lot.
You got any jigs?
And when you made the top 10 in Oklahoma at Eufaula, and I'm like, my boy is fixing to be on FS1 again on the LOB, and it wasn't. And I was very upset. Because you told me you were catching some on in practice, and I thought, oh, my God, after the first day, I'm like, here we go.
Yeah, I honestly, I was more disappointed than you were, because if I had to stare at that screen for any longer, I was going to just fall off the face of the earth. I swear I would throw a buzz bait out there in open water just to hear it squeal on the way back to me. I was so tired of looking at that screen.
Well, Trey, those LOB jigs, if you do ever decide to buy any and not steal from my tackle box, bait-wrx.com, Duncan-10, Dunkin-10. And last but not least, Express Boats. Hang the banner. Trey and I have jumped lots of things in the Express Boats. He has ridden in that bad boy many times, and he has seen the things that it can go through. And it's an impressive rig. Check them out at your local dealer, expressboats.com. Put in your zip code. You can find one. Go check them out. Express Boats, building excitement since 1966. All right. Finally made it to a live. Always listen to the podcast. Michael McCarter, thank you. Go Vols. He said, Trey, go damn Big Orange. How about that, Trey?
You got to tell your Vols to slow down because y'all are scaring me. All right. We got to come play you on a little bit. So y'all just take a couple steps back or we ain't going to have a chance.
Well, I was terrified at the first of that game against Georgia. I was like, ruh-roh. And then by the end of it, I was like, okay. Like, it's going to be a dogfight.
It is. No,
y'all may blow us out, but it made me feel better to see weakness because there wasn't a lot of weakness in that first half. And I was like, oh, okay. This is how this is going to go.
That's the thing, in the first half, we were getting pressure on Carson Beck, laid a couple licks on him, and then made him make a couple bad throws. You could just tell he was scared, uncomfortable to sit in the pocket. And you don't see that from him very much. But, in the second half, me and you talked a little bit about this before the live, but I think we just got a little conservative. It just felt like we were trying not lose the game and not playing. But we just let Carson Beck get too comfortable. Then he exposed our secondary. That's kind of where everybody knew we were weak. We got some young secondary. We got freshmen back there, transfers. But, you got to give him credit. He made the winning catch right there in the end zone. So to stick with 17. I was pretty.
He's not even a normal freshman, dude. He's 17 years old. He's a freak. Lake Teresa is full coming in. It is not. So I've not made a video out there in forever. I got to go, but we have had a major water level issue. There are bass in there. I'm going to go make a video very soon, but it's not full. We needed a lot more rain than we got, but hopefully get out there soon. Just admit OU beat themselves, Rick Hicks. I will never, Rick, because them Volunteers came out there and they forced some fumbles, big guy. Come on now. Y'all did shoot yourselves in the foot a couple times. I will say that. But y'all played a hell of a game against Auburn, where Trey's at right now at his girlfriend's house. I can't even say that out loud. Miss Teagan will probably come and slap the phone out of his hand.
Yeah, we can't be talking crap about Auburn on here. I think she's watching, so we got to keep our mouth shut.
All right, Trey, fishing questions coming in. Frank Scalise Jr., have you entertained the idea of trying to get on with the MPFL? Trey Swindle put you on the spot right out of the giddy.
Yeah, so, you heard my phone call the other day, and I called you, and I'm like, hey, man, you know of any badminton tournaments available near North Alabama? Because I think that's might be what my career choice needs to be. Dude, I don't know. I told you the truth. I don't know what to do. I don't know which way to look. I don't know what to fish. Dude, I don't even know. I mean, has that been an idea? Absolutely. Absolutely. But we'll get on into that, I feel like, here in a little while. So.
We definitely are going to get into it. Jeremy Murray coming in the comments. Will Trey get another divorce by the time this show is over? That's how you know that's a loyal lowlifer right there. The fact that he knows that this show has destroyed one of Trey's previous relationships that needed destroyed. This young lady carried the same name as my ex-wife. And I told him, I said, buddy, that's a bad name. That's a bad name.
You did. You warned me.
Did I not say that? What's her name? Oh, God. Run. Burn anything you got with her initials on it. Run. I told you, buddy.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, all because, Jeremy said all because of some shitty sleeping arrangements. That's true. She put us in a damn utility trailer. Me. Frank Scott says, what do you want, brother? Like, so yeah, that's a great question. What do you want? All right, let's get in. Let's go in here. What do you want as a tournament angler, a young dude trying to make a living? If you could, and I asked your uncle this a couple weeks ago on the forward facing sonar deal, what would be his dream scenario for you? If you could say, all right, this is how I would want the Bassmaster Opens to be, and then we'll get into the changes. But if you could, a dream scenario set up for you trying to fish for a living, that stepping stone, what would you do?
So, I mean, that's a tough question but I know me and you have talked a lot. We're pretty good buddies. You know how I feel about this. And my thing is, I really like the format that they changed to. When it first happened a couple years back, when they went to all 9, I didn't know, because I was like, how am I going to afford this? How am I going to travel around, fish 9 tournaments? But the more I got to thinking about it, dreams aren't easy. They're never going to be. No dream is easy, no matter what career path you choose in anything, just in life. It's not easy, right? And so to achieve your goal, your end goal to be on the Elite Series, is going to be a tough route. And I accepted that. I've known that since I first got into it. And so looking at it that way, I think when they went to the 9 tournaments, that gave me confidence, because although I fell short the past couple years, I've seen where the pre-spawn tournaments have hurt me, and then I battle back through the year, and when I get to the fall, I kind of come back, but I just got too much ground to make up. But what that tells me is I got stuff to work on, and I'm not ready for that level yet, because if I can't compete from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, I don't deserve to be fishing against Brandon Polnick and Gerald Swindle and those guys, because they will kick my teeth in. So the way that it was set up for me, I thought would set up for success down the road. Because if I can prove to myself that I can overcome what I have the past couple years in a rough start and battle all the way back, if I could ever put a full year together, I'm going to know in my heart that I'm good enough to be there. And I think that saves you from maybe getting there too soon. And, you know, there's no telling. I mean, entry fees are $50,000 to fish the Elite Series, travel money, you know, gas, everything's just out the roof now. So if you get there before you're ready, you know, that could be death to your career, and you'll never get back from it. You know, you'll never have another shot. So for me, I think that would probably be the dream setup. I truly do.
So let's talk changes, because you did call me. We
Yep.
had a conversation, and I think I'm kind of mixed on the changes from a standpoint of I just, there's no consistency in pro fishing, like how you get from one place to another,
just consistency. Like, I just want to pick a format and stay with it. Sorry to interrupt.
And this was such a big, like, going to the EQs and destroying the working man's dream, right? Like, there were so many of those comments, and they were, by God, sticking to it, right? Like, guns blazing. If you can't fish 9, and I said that, well, if you can't fish 9, then you're not going to be able to fish the elites, because how in the hell are you going to do it? You know, like, how is that feasible for you? But I got why people were upset also. Like, I could see both sides of it. But for me, it was like, all right, they're going to get the best of the best. And we've seen that. The rookie classes have been out of this freaking world since they went to this. My question is, though, why change it so fast? And I think I know why, obviously. And, dude, I think it's better. I think for people overall, it is better. The only problem I see, and I think you'll agree with this, because this is what you used to have and what you said about yourself. You're like, man, I start to catch up a little bit in the fall. If you go qualify, making the top 50 is not easy. We all know that. But you make the top 50 in your division, then you get to fish the 3 EQ tournaments that are all going to be in the fall. So essentially, it is going to come down to who are the best 9. I think that's how many they're taking still, right? 9?
9 or 10. They might have went up one.
Yeah, I'm not even sure.
On top of the cake, you know.
Yeah. The Scoping Opens, the Scopens, as Kyle Conrad just said in the comments, the Scopens. But you're going to get who's the best fall fisherman.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's who you're going to get.
That's what I told you on the phone. I said, you know, selfishly, if I was thinking about this in a selfish manner, it would honestly fit me better, because I could qualify through 4 tournaments, make the top 50. Hopefully, I'm not saying I will, but if I did, and I did make it to the fall, that's normally where I tend to do better, towards the end of the year when we go to tough fisheries. That's just kind of how I grew up fishing. So selfishly, it might help me. But does that mean I think I deserve to be in the Elite Series right now over Easton Fothergill, who's kicked my butt all year long? Absolutely not. How would it be fair to him to zero his points after 8 tournaments or 4 or whatever you want to call it? I mean, and make him start all over. Like, I just don't think. I think you take a step back from the caliber angler that you're getting. I just really do. That's how I feel. I'm with you on it. I can see why they did it, and I think it does help to an extent. I just think that, I don't know, the caliber of angler is just not going to be there. That was my question. I'm like, I was talking to my buddy Zach, and I'm like, hey man, did it just work too good? Because these past 2 rookie classes we've got, it's been unbelievable. Did it
I don't
work
know
so good that we just changed it?
I mean, it's no secret that the economy's awful, right?
Mhm.
People are struggling, like people are hurting, and if you are trying to chase this dream, you know it as well as anybody. It ain't easy. It's expensive, but chasing those 9 for a couple years that's a lot. That's a lot of
Yep.
a lot of travel. I do like the fact that you can potentially fish 4, and if you're not in that top 50, okay, well your year's done. Go on, do something else. Um, the only another I was actually talking to a friend of mine about this today with the EQs. It was like, man, we're going to give the the EQ guy all the press, and it's the new EQs. They're going crazy over that. Well, now and they did a little bit, whatever. Well, now they have a chance, in my opinion, or had a chance with 50 and 50. You had 100 guys that for those 3 tournaments you could really do a lot with, but now they're opening it up to the Elite Series guys, either that are trying to requalify or just want to get in. I don't like that. I don't like that side of it. Now, if it's a guy getting booted, okay, make it an easier road for him to get back in. He's already got there. I get that, but just current Elite Series guys being able to pop in and compete, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm for that.
So here's my thing on that, and I'm trying to be careful what I say. I don't want nobody mad at Trey here. No hard feelings either way, but my only thing is with that is, they say, well, they're not going to be competing for points. That's okay. Whatever. I want to fish against the best of the best. I don't care. Like, I really don't. Growing up on Gunnersville, I fished against G and Randy Howe and those guys my whole life. They show up at fruit jar tournaments all the time. It doesn't bother me. Not that I just think I could beat them, but they don't scare me, So that's not that. It's just you, and this, Luke, because you know me really well. Who would $50,000 help more, me or a guy on the Elite Series that's already established? So if I finish second to my Uncle G, dude, that would be devastating to me.
We taking out his bow-legged knees if he beats you. We getting after him, Nancy Kerrigan. You don't even know who that is, probably Nancy Kerrigan, Tanya Harding.
But that's the only thing that scares me, is like that money could be life-changing for a guy like me or anybody else that's fishing the Opens, because that could potentially get us our entry fees for the next year, or to keep us going, to keep us afloat, because I know that just fishing 4 Opens gives a guy, the working man, a better shot, and I understand that completely. But what people aren't understanding is you fish 4 Opens and make the top 50 and fish the final 3. I don't know if anybody's done the math on it yet. You're spending like $2,000 less than what I spent to fish all 9 last year.
Mm-hmm.
So you're spending the same amount of money and less tournaments. So is it really helping the working man as much as people say?
And if you were to be one of those working men that gets fortunate enough to make the Elite Series, you got about, 45 or 50 days, 60 days, call it, to get your money ready to turn around.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And look, I can't imagine being in the position to make those, calls. And I get you're never going to make everybody happy. You know how that is just as well as I do. But I don't know, man. I just, that's the one thing that I've gotten an argument with a guy the other day. Not an argument, but we were just talking about it, and I said the same. I told that to him, and he's like, "Well, I didn't think about that, because if you fish 4 and they raise the entry fees in the final 3, you just paid basically exactly what I did all year."
Is that what it is? Are the final 3 bigger entry? I didn't even see.
So the final 3 raised the entry fees to $3,200.
Okay.
So $3,200 a tournament. So like I said, I did the math on it, I was going to even write me down a sheet, but I felt like people would think I was just a nerd or something. So I didn't, but I did do the math on it just for my personal reasoning. But yeah, so you'd spend the same amount of money.
What's the payout for those final tournaments? Kyle Austin, Bassmaster Opens champ in the comments.
To be determined. I guess. They haven't announced.
TBD. Well, I'm sure they'll be great, because if there's one thing in bass fishing that we all know in professional bass fishing, is that the payouts are electric these days.
Yeah, they are. They're wonderful, man. That's
$3,500 entry fee. They're going to pay 20 places, and the 20th place check is $700.
Yeah, exactly. That's the stuff that I started to look at, like, just because, you know, for a while, and look, I'm still chasing this dream. I'm never going to quit until it's just not feasible for me to do it ever. I don't care what happens. I don't care if you take all my transducers away or give me 17 of them. I don't care. I'm going to bass fish. I love it more than anything. So I'm going to do it. But I'm like, when I start to look at like payouts, and I'm like, okay, I know this is not going to happen for me. I ain't had a year even close to that. But if I cut a check in every single one of them, okay, every single one of the however many tournaments I fish, and I look at 40th place, and most of the time, you know how payouts are from 20th to 40th, it's the same thing. So anywhere in, I'm like, okay, and I add this up, and I'm like, all right, let's just say that's $25,000. Well, my entry fees were 20. And I spent $40,000 traveling the country. So I only lost 30 grand. That sounds like a great idea.
You're sleeping in your truck too, and you're saving money.
Literally, I'm sleeping in my truck. I had to pay quarters to take a shower the other day.
I told that story on here when I had Uncle G on. I told that story. We found a quarter in my driveway, remember? And I said, that's how spoiled my damn kids are, man. They just walk over these quarters in the damn driveway. And I'm like, man, I'd kill for a quarter by half the time. And I had in my truck, and I think we talked about that I'm like, I had a dang ashtray in my truck in high school, and it had all kind of quarters in it and whatever. How else was you going to vacuum out your truck before you took your lady to the daggum Sonic or whatever, you know? And you said,
all those
you said I needed one to take a shower.
Yeah, it was such a habit, Luke. I almost just snatched it out of your hand. Like, I need that for tonight. Put it in my pocket. That's what I told Zach. You can ask Zach. I swear, dude, I was picking up the little mats in the floor of my truck looking for more quarters, because I'm like, dude, 3 minutes by the time you like get in there, like that ain't nothing, man. Like, it was only a quarter for 3 minutes, and we're trying to scrounge up quarters. I'm like, holy smokes. And I'm like, we're trying to save $1, but.
So this was at a campground in La Crosse, Wisconsin, and a quarter bought you 3 minutes of shower time. Now, I've been to some places, man, that, you know, you pay about a minute, but.
Yeah.
That place that ex-girlfriend of yours put us at that time, that trailer, they could have rented that by the minute. They probably have at some point to somebody.
Yeah, I'm sure they have. For sure. For sure. For sure.
Man out here sleeping in the back of his truck, taking damn quarter showers, y'all. Somebody sponsor this boy.
But dude, that's the thing, dude. You gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, I got that Lear camper shell on the truck, man. I crawl up in there and go to bed. I was telling you, like, you seen the setup, it's great, but dude, you wake up having a nightmare and you got about this much above your head. The amount of times I've almost gave myself a concussion, I mean, dude, unbelievable. You can't roll over without hitting your knees, and I'm a little bitty guy. I'm small.
Yeah, you about $150.
Yeah, no, soaking wet. I wouldn't even give me $150.
Yeah, you and my brother Blake. Blake told me the other day now my brother is 4 years younger than me. Okay, and y'all can see me. I'm a healthy fella. He said he weighed 125 pounds. So my grown ass brother, I'm like, how you only weigh 125 pounds? He does. You derailed the show at the quarter, but it's good. That's how bad do you want it? I always say that if you want to be a professional, really at anything, but if you want to be in fishing and you're going to try to go beat Trey and beat so many that are like Trey, you better be obsessed with it, because you better want it more than that. And there's so many of y'all out there that just, God, the work you put in. And how long were you up north? Give the people an idea. You guys you went up north for Leech Lake. You were up
Yep.
there a few days before, but then y'all had this weird gap that wasn't short enough really to come home. But how long were you up north without coming home and just sleeping in your truck in between events?
Yeah, it was over a month. I think it was like a month and 7 days. So by the time I left the house, 24-hour drive, stop somewhere, sleep, finish it up the next day, fish practice for Leech Lake, for a week, fish the tournament, and then there was about 2 weeks in between. Stayed around there, and then drove straight to La Crosse, piled up back in the back of the truck, and stayed for 2.5 more weeks. So it was over a month. Yeah, it was. I was ready to be home. Honestly, it's kind of crazy. I had never been away from home for that long, ever. So it was different for me, especially sleeping in the bed of your truck, man. It was a weird feeling.
And then you called me on your way back, and you needed a place to crash, so you actually slept here in the bar and grill one night, and because we
That
had
was the
kids
best
here.
sleep I had over a month. I felt so bad because I was like, I didn't want to be rude, like sleep all day, and I woke up and I'm like, dude, I'm about to fall back asleep. I was exhausted.
Well, Marissa kept saying, "Have you heard from Trey? Is he all right?" I'm like, "Hell, I bet he's exhausted. He's sleeping. I'm not bothering him." Like, he's out there conked out, man.
Oh,
Out there, absolutely conked out. Well, the good news is, LOB, is the next tournament now that's been rescheduled. And if you're just joining us, 201,000 on Low Budget Live, actually live, the Lake Hartwell final Bassmaster Open has been moved to Lake Martin in Alabama due to the hurricane damage over at Lake Hartwell, which I'll be honest, I did not know Hartwell got that much damage. I've got to reach out to some folks over there. I had no clue. I've seen, man, it's just, if you get on social media, this Trey, it's just nothing but damage, videos and pictures from all over the country. But I did not know that Hartwell got hit bad. I had no clue.
I really didn't either. I honestly, that's what my mom was telling me today. She's like, "What do you think about it?" Like, and I was like you. I had no idea. Like, I just didn't expect it to. I don't know. It just threw me for a loop. I had no idea they would get affected by it like they did. But yeah, I can't imagine. Apparently, like all the houses around there don't have power. Kyle Austin called me today and told me that he had went to the hardware store and he'd seen a guy that drove like 3 hours to get an extension cord. So people are just, man, it's sad. It's really sad.
It's awful, man. It's and another one out there potentially spinning around right now too. They're talking about already. So It's absolutely terrible. This is pretty good right here. Scott Ezel. How do you hide a quarter from Trey? Put it under the soap.
Taking shots already.
I love it though. You're going to be like, where'd that damn quarter go?
Yeah.
It's under your body wash, son. You ain't getting to it because you can't even turn on the hot water.
Yeah. Dude, I couldn't. One time I got in there with my hat on. I was trying to save so much time I didn't take my hat off. Like, holy smokes, man. And I'd be peeking out the blinds like, a minute and 2 seconds. Like, I didn't
there's a timer outside of it you got to look at.
Oh, yeah. It's a big old metal box that had a little counter on it. It would tell you how long you had, dude. I'd be peeking out.
Bro.
Oh, I swear on my life. It had a lock master on it where you couldn't steal the quarters out of it. Don't ask me how I know that.
Good. You were shaking it.
I'm like, give me a quarter. I
still got soap in my crack. Dang, son. 3 minute, a 3-minute shower. You got that's quick. That's quick.
Quick. It goes by quick.
Oh my gosh, dude. That is absolutely amazing. So you're going back to the opens. Is that what I'm taking out of this? You're definitely gonna fish the opens again.
I wouldn't say definitely. No. That's the end goal, is to be on the Elite Series. That's what I've dreamed of my whole life. I won't say my whole life, but for the most part. And so that's where I want to be. But man, financially, it's going to have to make sense for me next year, because as well as I do, there's a lot of guys getting cut this year from a lot of sponsors. There's a lot of cuts around. I've received one myself already. So for me, it's just going to depend, because the way that it's shaping out for me, it looks like I'm going to have to try to survive off of earnings next year to travel for the rest of the year, which is not Not
Scary.
good. Very scary. So, I mean, dude, I'll sleep in my truck. I'll do whatever it takes to make it through the year. But for me, I think next year it's going to be very critical that I cut some checks, and preferably more than, $100 more than what I paid to get in. So I'm going to need some big checks.
Why don't you win one? Why don't you quit screwing around?
Win one. Better of a fisherman than I was. I probably would already have done that. And if I had insurance, I probably would have done that as
well. What was that story? I don't remember that.
Dude, so I won't even bore you with it.
Oh, did you have a chance to win a Bassmaster Open and then you didn't have insurance and then you got disqualified? Is that what happened? I read that. Oh, that was you.
Yeah.
That was you. I'm sorry. I didn't remember that.
No, man, most people don't recognize me with a hat on. I didn't have a hat on at that one. Most people get me confused.
Oh, they get you mixed up with that other Swindle?
Yeah. That other. Yeah.
Trey, we have a very special commenter coming in. It's your mom. And she just said, if I charged a quarter a minute for your long showers at home, I could make some bank. Trey.
Listen.
Miss Tracy coming in hot in the comments on you.
But she's not lying, because when I got back from there, I took like an hour and a half long shower because I didn't feel like I even got clean for a month, having to pay quarter every time. So I just sat there and just knowing I could stand here as long as I wanted was like the biggest thing for me. So I do. I probably owe her half the water bill for this month.
Miss Tracy, if you're still listening, I can't even believe he stopped at home. Normally he left my house and went straight to Auburn. I can't even believe you got to see him.
She really hasn't. That's what's sad. I come home, went and seen Tegan for a couple days, and then I come back home, went to a buddy's house to play poker, watch football, and then I went to the Alabama-Georgia game this past weekend. So I hadn't really seen her. It's kind of sad. It's kind of ready for the season to die down. I ain't gonna lie.
Let's see. Hang on, Trey. Professor Backlash, please help us in Lake Lure and Chimney Rock. That's some of the hardest hit areas there, guys, over in North Carolina. If y'all are watching Lake Lure and Chimney Rock, I believe that Chimney Rock was basically wiped off the map. We need 16-ounce propane cans, gas cans, water, storage containers, charcoal, and non-perishable foods. ASAP. Local businesses are doing what they can. If you will, is there a link that we can share on how to donate to something like that, or what can we do to help? Because Lord knows we would love to help any way we can. The lowlifers are a great bunch of folks. So I know Lake Lure, I've seen some of the videos and pictures from over there in Chimney Rock. I've seen a lot of that in the last few days. Professor Backlash, which is a great handle to comment from, by the way. Professional. I wish I knew your real name. Professor Backlash is a little weird in this situation, but if you can tell us how. But if y'all are all paying attention, Lake Lure and Chimney Rock, that's that western North Carolina, close to Tennessee area that truly got hammered, absolutely hammered. And I mentioned at the first of the show, if you're just tuning in, David Mullins, Elite Series Pro, is doing a lot to help in that East Tennessee region. He's been actually doing search and rescues in his little tunnel hole boat out there. He's been hauling a lot of water, baby formula, things like that actually have to be helicoptered in to some of these areas. You can go check out David's Instagram and Facebook. He's sharing all that stuff and how you can help if you're able to help at all. So, all right, Professor Backlash, tell us where and how, and we will try to do that. For just 50 cents a day, you can take a 6-minute shower. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Hit us with some information there. And I don't know how to pin a comment, but right there. All right, Trey. While we're waiting on that, and I know we're jumping all over the place. There's just so much going on in the world right now. It's I think we said that in the beginning of the show. It's hard to like kind of keep going on with all this happening. I said that to my kids watching college football Saturday. It was rainy, nasty here. I don't ever, y'all that pay attention to this show, I don't slow down a lot. Trey knows that. I go pretty hard in the paint most of the time. And I sat on my couch from the 11 o'clock kickoff at Ole Miss, Kentucky, until 6 p.m. when I drove to my dad's house to eat chili and watch the Alabama Georgia game. Like I didn't go anywhere. I didn't do anything. I watched Tennessee. Tennessee was off. I watched Ole Miss, Kentucky. That went right into what was the second game we watched? Oh, Auburn, Oklahoma. Watched that. It was a great game. Yep. And then with Oklahoma coming in late and winning that, and then went right into the Bama Georgia game that lasted till 10:39. So sitting there though, watching all that, and you're like, so crazy that we're lucky that we get to watch this and we're distracted, but then there's just so much destruction and people's lives just uprooted.
Yeah, sure.
Somebody just Fat Bass and Sorry just came in. Did y'all talk about the Opens tournament? We did. That was breaking news in the first 5 minutes of the show, and we actually brought it up again. Fat Bassin, it is going to Lake Martin, the last Open of the year that will send people to the Bassmaster Elite Series. Easton Fothergill's like, oh, I'll just catch them there too. And Cody Meyer, like, yeah.
I bet them two are like happy because they basically just got to catch a couple bass and they're going to be in. Yeah. And they don't have to worry about all this format stuff. They could just go on to the Elite Series and mind their own business and take their money too.
Cody Myers is good at catching spotted bass as anybody's ever been. So he's probably like, oh, it's a lake that's like 99.9999% spots. Oh, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
It'll be okay. Which Hartwell is too. A lot of spots at Hartwell.
Change my Airbnb. I'll just go down there and catch them too.
All right, here we go. Professor Backlash is back. We have no corporations dispersing humanitarian aid in Chimney Rock or Lake Lure yet. Everything is focused around Asheville. I'm a small business owner who's doing my best to fill the void. If you will shoot me a message with some information, just through social, Facebook, Instagram, or something, brother, I'll help any way I can. I know what y'all are going through. I've seen it. I mean, I don't personally know, obviously, but I've seen a lot in that area, and I know it's god awful. It's terrible. No links to donate to a sponsored charity. We'll try our best to spread the word. But again, if y'all can, Chimney Rock, Lake Lure area. Yeah, Asheville, of course, got, rolled. That river just came right through the middle of town there, looks like. Absolutely incredible. I have who would have thought after all the hurricane predictions, there's a place near and dear to my heart, Apalachicola, Florida, St. George Island, we go to every year and got some dear friends down there, and it was right in the path of it originally, kind of shifted a little bit east. So I was really paying attention to it. And who would have thought that the main issue would have been East Tennessee and Western North Carolina from a hurricane?
Crazy.
I mean, it's just like the last thing you would ever would have thought.
All right. Really is.
Jumping back to some fishing. We're jumping all over the place. Oh, another comment. Pete Rose has passed away. Charlie Hustle. What is happening? Chris Christopherson, a great singer-songwriter, one of the greats, died also a couple days ago. R.I.P. to those guys. Pete Rose. I saw Pete Rose signing autographs one time at a mall in Las Vegas at a trading card store. That was my claim to fame with Pete Rose right there, folks. That was a really boring story for you, but I just saw him through a window. I didn't even go. He was just sitting there by himself. Nobody's getting any autographs. And now, betting sites. He's never got inducted into the Hall of Fame because of his gambling stuff. And now, like, all these gambling apps and everything just sponsor pro sports. It's so crazy to me.
Yeah, it is.
I guess that just happened. Yeah, that's today news right there. All right, Trey, we got two. I want your take on this.
Okay.
2 Legends exemptions were handed out. Cliff Pace and Randy Roger Howell are going back.
I've seen that.
The Flat Top King. What do you think? Will we see more? Were you surprised by either of those names?
I wasn't. Especially, I was in a lot with Randy at lacrosse. I told you that. I seen him fishing the Opens. I kind of figured that was coming. I didn't really necessarily know, but it didn't shock me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like
I talked to Randy a little bit earlier this year, and might have got a little teaser on that that was coming. He's like, you can't say anything. I'm like, you're telling the wrong guy. You're telling the wrong guy, because this was months and months and months ago. He's like, I think this is happening, and I think it was going to maybe go back next year. If I'm telling tales out of school, I'm sorry. And Joe Lee got the spot, and now he's leaving. And then Cliff Pace went back to left MLF to go back to the Opens this year. He fished all the EQs, right? I think Cliff fished every event, but then because of his classic win at Grand Lake a few years ago, he gets to go back.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that there was another name in there. I won't call him out that I've heard. It's a classic champ that's still over there that I've really heard like the last 3 years has been trying to get back. So I was surprised at the two names, to be honest. Randy didn't surprise me, but Cliff did surprise me because of the other guy that I've heard that's really been kicking it around. I was surprised. Does Laker go to the Opens now with Randy being back? Laker's already there.
Yeah, he fished them this year.
Yeah. Laker finished second at Santee Cooper to Kyle Austin. Yeah,
second.
Laker's already there and fishing. Did he fish the Tackle Warehouse too this year? He fished a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Randy fished the Northern Division, whatever they called it this year, the Opens, in addition to BPT, and then Laker fished all 9, and I'm sure he's going to again next year for sure. Boyd Duckett could get back into the elites. Do you think that'll ever happen? Jeremy Murray.
Yeah.
Legends exemption. I mean,
he's got one.
What a mic drop moment that would be. Just
incredible. Can you imagine?
I'm voting for that. Let's go. Bring Boyd back to the elites. Let's go. As long as he's not running anything, you can't ruin it.
Oh Lord!
I like when I make you nervous, Trey.
Yeah, really nervous times. I just sit here and I'm like, okay, yeah.
This is my friend. This is my friend.
I didn't pay him to say anything. I swear. I probably got myself in enough trouble already in this podcast. Probably more.
No, it's not happening. You're not in trouble. You're just giving your opinion. You pay entry fees. I don't know how much you listen to Low Budget Live, but I have a problem with people that can be fined when they pay entry fees or get in trouble. You're a customer. Understand that. Like, they do have the platform, and so does MPFL, and so does BPT and all that. But at the end of the day, they don't exist if you don't pay them money. So understand that.
That's another thing, man. I was really kind of weirded out that nobody asked me, at least. But like, I didn't hear any of the anglers get asked. I kind of felt, I don't know, something like that, man. If you got guys paying entry fees, I don't know, maybe send out a survey, at least try it, see what everybody else thinks,
At least make me feel like you're listening to me.
Yeah, at least make it. It's like they made the announcement, or like a day before they made the announcement, they sent out what we thought would be best for practice next year. And I'm like, oh, well, does it really matter?
What do you want for that? It's 5 days now, which I think that's too long for me. I would never want to practice for 5 days, but you might. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't so many times get to a tournament. I like bank fishing. That's what I like to do. I'll figure out a pattern pretty quick. I don't know. It always seems like my first day of practice is the best. So I've noticed I'll get there and catch them the first day, or figure out a pattern the first day and get to running it. And then you give all those guys 5 days, man. They're and doc talk, like, I mean, some of those patterns just don't hold up with 5 days of practice, because if you're throwing a spinnerbait on cypress trees on the first day of practice and catch them, and old buddies at the ramp like, yeah, man, I caught 5 on a spinnerbait, by the 5th day of practice, 225 people know they were about to spinnerbait on cypress trees. So, like, if you go to 2.5 days, that kind of takes some of that out, I think. And man, it's better on the fishery, dude. 5 days with 225 guys is brutal. Like, absolutely brutal. I think you go to a place like Leech Lake and you don't give us 5 days of practice. You do like 2.5 days or 3 days and an off day. I think that's what made Leech Lake so good, is we had that off day that got canceled. Dude, like, those smallmouth got like a day to rest, and I think that's what made the weights so good is they got a day to rest. So I think the weights in the tournaments will be better, and I think too, like I don't know, I think that's another thing that's one of the things I would like to see when you were talking about what would my dream setup be is I don't understand why we're on different rules than the Elite Series. I think if we're trying to get there, we should be under the same rules as they are, same practice, same everything. Just me personally. So I would way rather have 2.5 days. So once again, if I ever do make it there, I'm prepared and I can break down a body of water in 2.5 days.
I like the off day with FLW. We had 3 days of practice and an off day. I loved that off day because
That's what I
have. Yeah, you don't have to rush around getting your crap ready the night before. You got all day to get the boat ready, to think about a game plan, all that. If they have a meeting or registration, you can go do that. I loved that more so than the tournament where you're practicing right up to the last minute the day before, and then you're out there with your headlamp on at night, tying on, and you're doing all the stuff. Like I loved having that off day. So if they give you that, I would that would make the Opens a lot better because the year you and I fished them, you have that weird half day of practice. You got to be off the water by 12, and you feel like if you don't go, somebody's going to find the mother lode or something. So you make yourself get up, and then the whole time you're like looking at your watch and you're fishing. I never liked it. And I knew before there was an off limits, though, guys would take that as an off day a lot. People were kind of building that into their practice schedule. So I don't think people would be.
See, I did that all year. I fished on a Wednesday for the first 2 tournaments, and it's worst tournaments I had all year. And I thought, you know what? What's it going to hurt? Because I sucked in the first 2, so I'm just not fishing Wednesdays. And then I started, for some reason, deciding to catch bass. Actually, you want to know why, Luke? Because I decided to just go live scope. That's what I decided to do. And apparently, I can catch bass now. So now I don't have to go on Wednesday because I just go drop the trolling motor. Like 20 pounds here, 20 pounds there, just everywhere. 20 pounds everywhere. Here for you, here for you. They just hand them out, dude. You drop that trolling motor in the water.
Well, is that your screen behind you over your shoulder? Is that your NBT or whatever that thing's called? That shoulder?
Yeah. Well,
giant screen.
They come out with a, what was it, 53 inches? I think I went to Walmart. They got a Roku TV that's 53 inches. I think I might just get a little quick disconnect and just rotate it from the front to the back and just have that as my screen up there.
Dude, 53 inches on, I mean, I could see my cricket on 53 inches.
Oh, yeah, dude. Can you imagine? And you just say, like, hey, Roku TV, turn on, and it just, like, turns on for you. Like, dude, it'd be great.
I'm going to be trying to watch YouTube, though.
Oh, dude. At lacrosse, I was trying to hook my little cord up to my NBT screen and watch football all day.
Does it work? I don't even know what an NBT is other than seeing them on y'all's boats.
Yeah. It's literally, I mean, obviously it's nicer and it's more high tech, but it's kind of like it really is kind of like a TV. Like it's just mirroring your unit. So it has like an HDMI cable. You just HDMI cable to it and hook it to your phone or your iPad or whatever. You can just stream football games, watch it on your NBT screen.
The scope and opens. And the scope and opens, you can just scope them up. All right, little Trey, before we go, there's 180,000 right now on Low Budget Live, actually live. I need some, we're going back. We're Paul Feinbauming this. All right. We're going to do some, we're going to get some football picks out of you.
Okay.
All right. Who wins this weekend? Who do y'all got an off week or who y'all got?
No, Vanderbilt.
Oh God. I was going to ask who's going to win this weekend. I don't know. That's a no contest there for y'all. Who wins Arkansas, Tennessee?
Tennessee by 20.
By 20? In Arkansas, night game?
Tennessee is the scariest team in college football right now.
Man, I think Arkansas's underrated. I do, man. I think that could be a trap game. You heard it here.
You really?
Dude, I'm a Tennessee fan, right? Like I got PTSD from being a Tennessee fan for so long. Like I'm never confident that we're actually as good as we feel like we are. And I know they got an unbelievable team, unbelievable this year. But that being said, on the road in the SEC, just dude, look at, I mean, which Kentucky went into Ole Miss and won. Like, you just never know. Look at Georgia at Kentucky. Struggled like crazy against Kentucky on the road night game. Like, you just never know. But I hope you're right, Trey. I hope you're right. We pulled one off against Oklahoma. Maybe we can pull off another one.
I hope so, man. I kind of hope both of us are undefeated when we play each other in Knoxville.
I hope so. Is that a college game day game? If we are, surely.
Guaranteed.
And Trey, I don't know if you remember this. The last time it was a college game day for Tennessee, Bama, it did not go your way that night.
Hey, look, hear me out. I'm an Alabama fan, but I'm not going to cry myself to sleep at night if we lose. Like, I got bigger things to worry about, like payouts and bass fishing that scare me more than football. So I don't even care. I just hope it's a good game, man. I just hope it's a good game. So if we lose, that's all right. You know what?
I don't hope it's a good game. I hope we beat y'all by 40.
We'll have one loss and we'll see again. Look, the SEC is too good, man. There will not be an undefeated team in the SEC. Y'all will lose. You know it as well as I do. Just like we will.
It's impossible not to in the SEC.
Yeah, we beat each other up. I could see. I don't know. Do y'all play Texas?
No, we don't have Texas. We've got upcoming. We got Arkansas at Arkansas, Florida at home, then y'all. And then I think after y'all, Kentucky at home, we've got Kentucky. Then we've got a couple like whatevers. And then we go to Georgia like mid-November is our worst. I mean, it's not an easy schedule, but easier than like Georgia had to play y'all, and they got to play Texas.
Yeah.
They play Texas the same day we play.
Texas and Tennessee. Like, dude, that's what's scary is a team like Georgia could end up with 3 losses.
Mm-hmm. I hope so.
Like,
I hope all you Georgia fans in the comments. I hope so.
I don't wish anybody, but I mean, I kind of do too, to be honest with you. I feel bad already for saying that, but it's okay.
Roll Tides coming in the comments, Trey. I will say we'll end on this. The Alabama Bass Trail Championship, and I don't think Miss Kay's with us anymore in the comments. I haven't seen her pop up in a while. But Alabama Bass Trail Championship final day, Tennessee Alabama game.
That's a sin, man.
Who does that? Miss K. She's here. Miss K. Who schedules an Alabama-based Bass Trail tournament championship on the Tennessee Bama game? I just realized that. Miss K.
Yeah,
Miss K, what do you have to say for yourself? She's in the comments.
That's not a good look,
and probably cussing me. We'll wait for Miss K's response. She's typing. She's probably typing like this. That would be me. She's taking the credit. She takes the credit. She always takes the credit. Well, if it's happening during the weigh-in, I'm going to be one distracted MC. I was
really hoping we could have a watch party, but Miss K already.
We will at Lay Lake, October 19th. We will have a watch party if it's a
only ABT championship I've fished in the last 3 years. I got DQ'd from it too, so I'm over it.
Yeah, Miss K had to DQ you once. That definitely happened. Well, Miss K will let us stream it. We'll stream it from the weigh-in trailer. You heard that here, folks. I can't wait to read my text after this. Trey Swindle, I appreciate you, buddy. I hope that life is filled with lots of quarters for you.
Maybe if we get an off day and the opens next year, I can take a 6-minute shower on Wednesday. Dude, instead of
get crazy with it. Find $1. You never know what might happen, buddy.
I'm already going to start saving up quarters now, preparing. So I should be ready.
All right. You ready? Lake Martin coming up for little Trey Swindle. Y'all make sure you're following Trey on all things social media. He posts about every, 6 or 8 weeks. He'll put something up there. Appreciate y'all joining in tonight. The little old himself right there. Trey Swindle. Thank y'all. Take you out with some Biloxi Blues. Trey, go see your girlfriend before you lose another one. See ya.